Hey, I just thought I'd make a quick video. I recently watched a podcast, Compound and Friends, I think it's called. It's it's for investment professionals and stuff, and it's a bunch of New Yorkers arguing about money. I find it quite amusing. It is a bit above my pay grade as a lowly, self-employed English teacher here in Japan, but every now and again I learn something, or I think I understand what they're talking about. There were two morsels of wisdom that I wanted to suggest might be useful for you. The first was this guy was talking about how he doesn't hire, or he stopped hiring recent university graduates because they don't realize how good his business is. And I thought, what? Isn't that a bit silly? But it kind of makes a point. If you join a company and it's the first company you've ever worked for, you've got no way of judging whether it's a good deal, whether you're learning stuff, and you set that first company as your benchmark, and you might find that you go on to many other companies in your career and you realize, oh wow, that first place I was working at was actually the best. Why did I quit? Oh, I'm so foolish. So if you're an employer, you think, I'll hire somebody who's been around the block, which is a good thing. So what's my point? My point is you might be better off working somewhere, plying your trade, either in teaching English or not teaching English. And that will enable you to realize that you're onto a good thing when you teach for yourself. At least that's how I took it. I don't think I would have appreciated all the joys of sitting here in my own classroom, teaching English. It wouldn't be that, it might not be that enjoyable if I hadn't worked for a number of other companies and realized, oh yeah, this is a pretty good deal that I've got going here. So yeah, work somewhere else and then you'll really appreciate being self-employed. That was the first piece of morsel of intelligence. A second thing, I think it was on that podcast, somebody was talking about, it may have been somewhere else, who knows, my brain is frazzled. But the idea is that it's silly to talk about, or it's not a good idea to talk about your money and salary and how rich you are. Well, I think, where did I see that? That may not have been the Compound. I think that was, what is it? The Nantucket Path to Wealth, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. That's it. Yes. And he was saying I think he was saying he doesn't talk about how much money he actually earns or has, because if you tell somebody how much, or how rich you are, if you tell somebody how much money you have, there's one or two things that will happen. One, somebody who's poorer than you will think, oh, you're just showing off. Oh, you're just trying to be superior to me. And that's maybe not the point. Or secondly, somebody has a lot more money than you and they think, well, why should I listen to your advice if you've got that much? You've only got that much money. You can't win telling somebody how much money you have. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't know if I totally buy that. Yeah, on a one-to-one level, I think that's true. But if you don't talk about salary and how much money you can expect to make and stuff like that, it plays into the hands of people who already know the system, if you like, who already know. And so you can be kind of stuck in a very low-paying job and you never talk about how little you earn because you haven't compared with others in other situations. So I think, yeah, one-to-one, that's probably a good idea. Don't talk about your salary, but actually it's a necessary evil to know, not for status reasons, but just to know if you're not being ripped off. And that's another thing that I think about. I think you might realize a lot of paid work, it's not that you're being ripped off necessarily, it's just that you're not being paid with your true worth. When you work for yourself, you are, by definition, being paid what you're worth, because you are the owner of the means of production and also the one that's doing the work. So that's true justice, maybe. More thoughts about that. I did a video a couple of times ago, maybe a month ago, I'll put a link to it here, about how much you can expect to earn as a self-employed English teacher in Japan, and how it's a lot better than working for the Eikaiwa or being an ALT, an ALT, assistant language teacher in the public school system. But by all means, do those things, and then do your own thing. Okay, hey, peace. Have a nice weekend. Cheerio.